Thanks for clicking. The London and St. Thomas Association of Realtors, Lstar, has released its data for the month of May, showing marginal increases in our real estate prices all across the board. And I stress marginal increases, as given what we've been seeing out of the market surrounding London, with continual price increases in Toronto, Hamilton, etc., May's data shows that London's real estate recovery could be slowing. And the slowdown in the recovery comes as bond yields are up almost 45 basis points since this point in time last month, and as bond yields rise, so too do mortgage rates. And all things being equal, when mortgage rates rise, affordability gets worse. So what I want to do today is go over London's real estate data for the month of May, then take a look at how much Londoners have to earn to buy that benchmark and average priced home, and then discuss what to look for next. Speaking of next, the Bank of Canada is set to make its rate announcement tomorrow, and we'll obviously have an update out on that announcement on this channel. Click like and subscribe if you want to get those updates, but for now, let's get into this data. Onto the data. First off, the benchmark price. The benchmark price, if you'll remember, that's the price of a home, which represents the most popular set of features. The benchmark price was up about $12,000 in May. April's benchmark price was sitting at $607,200, and that bumped up to $619,800 in May. So that's about a $12,000 increase in the benchmark price in May, but that's $3,000 less than the $15,000 increase we saw in April. And it wasn't just the benchmark price growth that slowed down either. The average price of a home in London in April was sitting at $662,892, and that bumped up very little to $664,274 in May. So that's an increase in the average price of a home in London of about $1,400. And that's a major slowdown from the $31,000 increase that we saw in April, the $17,000 increase that we saw in March, and a major decrease from the $50,000 increase that we saw in February. And median price growth was down as well. The median price of a home, if you'll remember, that's where half as many homes sell over that price and half as many sell under. The median price of a home in April was sitting at $620,000, and that was up to $625,000 in May. So the benchmark average and median price are all up, although the pace of those increases does seem to be slowing. With that said, of the inventory that is available, we are now seeing more homes go for over asking price. If we look to the sales to list price ratio, that measures how much over or under asking price a home sells. So if a home is listed for $100,000 and sells for $105,000, the sales to list price ratio is 105. The SLPR in April was sitting at 99.8, and that bumped up to 101 in May. So on average, homes are selling for 1% over asking price. That's the first time in a long time that we've seen London's SLPR go over 100. But it's still a far cry from the pandemic level SLPRs that we saw sitting around the 125 mark. And despite the slowing in price growth, London is also seeing a reduction in the amount of inventory available. If we look at the months of inventory measurement, the MOI, which measures if no more homes came to market, how long would it take for London to completely run out of homes for sale? The MOI in April was sitting at 1.6, and in May that was down to 1.5. So we have a benchmark price up $12,000, we have an average price up about $1,400, we have a median price up $5,000, we have a bit less inventory coming to the market, and homes are selling faster than they did before. And these relatively minor price increases that we saw in London in May come as listings are way down. We saw 962 new listings come to London's market in May, which was way down from the 1,367 listings we had at this point in time last year. That's a 35% decrease. And that's also a 14% decrease from the number of listings that we saw in May of 2021, when new listings came in at 1,111. So the pace of price growth is slowing at a time when new listings are still slowing as well. Are we starting to see a slowdown in London's real estate recovery? Time will definitely tell, but the data is matching some of the murmurings I'm hearing from some of the realtors in London that we are seeing a slowdown in activity. And the increase in mortgage rates that we've seen over the past couple of weeks is definitely not going to help London's recovery either, with StatsCan reporting a CPI much hotter than expected and Canada's GDP also coming in much hotter than expected. Mortgage rates are up as investors think the Bank of Canada is going to have to raise rates again. Well, last month at this point in time, my best 5-year fixed insured rate was sitting around 4.49. It's now jumped up to 4.84. About 35 basis points higher. Borrowers now have to qualify at 6.84%. So if we look at that benchmark price home that we saw today, we qualify with minimum down payment requirements at 6.84%. Borrowers now have to earn about $150,000 to get that home with the most popular set of features. The average home priced about $45,000 higher if we use minimum down payment requirements, zero debt, and qualify at 6.84. Borrowers have to make $160,000 to get that average priced home. $150,000, $160,000 to get that benchmark, to get that average price home in London. That's still a lot of money for a city that, as of 2016, had an average household income before tax of $83,000 and a median income before tax of $64,000. So, given the rise in interest rates that we've seen over the past year, it is possible that London's recovery could be slowing right down. That, given the increased cost of borrowing, that we could be nearing the top of what this London market is able to sustain price-wise. With that said, this is just 1 month, and this slowdown could be short-lived, or we could see it accelerate next month. We'll obviously have updates out on London's market next month. If you want to get those updates, make sure you click like and subscribe. But for now, thanks so much for watching.